So, greetings. Welcome to Uncensored Guyana. And happy holidays. Happy holidays to you. I'm Dr. Prasad. It's a good day here in Suriname, but it's the beginning of some very bad days for us in the Caribbean. To start things off, I want to wish the President, Jennifer Gerling Simmons of the Republic of Suriname, and the people of Suriname 50 years anniversary. 50 years anniversary to the nation of Suriname. Tomorrow marks the 50th anniversary since Suriname got its independence from the Dutch. That is the 25th of November. And to celebrate with the Suriname people, for the first time, the King of the Netherlands is here in Suriname to celebrate the Suriname people freeing themselves from his kingdom 50 years ago, which is also remarkably the year of his birth. So when the king turned 50, he decided to join Suriname in their celebration of the 50th independence anniversary from the Dutch. Remember, back in the day, the Dutch had Guyana and Suriname. They were just properties of the Dutch, the Netherlands. Then the British bullied the Dutch and took Guyana. The Dutch kept Suriname. And the politic began to divide the two nations. And you do that by what? You disturb their way of speaking. Because both countries spoke Dutch when the Dutch had it. When the British took over, they got rid of the Dutch dialect language and re-indoctrinated the people in Guyana with English. So we have English Guyana and Dutch Suriname. Same people, different rulers. So Suriname celebrates 50 years tomorrow. I want to highlight something. For the past 5 years of the previous regime, that it would be the Santoki VHP, you have not seen this amount of energy, excitement, unity, the spirit of patriocy, neighborhoodness, citizenry. You have not seen that. This is the first time since 2019. You can say that the Suriname people are feeling alive again. Everywhere you go, people are in the mood, in the spirit, celebrating. And when I say people, everyone, not limited to one demographic or one racial group, everyone. They are rallying behind their first female president, who came from a party that historically always invest in these kind of celebrations. It makes you wonder as a citizen, what mistake was made in the previous election? Because I've said on many occasions, it matters who your leaders are. It matters who your government is. It matters who your cabinet ministers are. It matters. It speaks of the direction of your country. It speaks of the unity of your country. It speaks of a whole lot of stuff. This is not just about identity politics or racial politics. No, it has a lot to do with a nation's health. For those of you who would not understand what I'm talking about, Suriname was practically dead for the past 5 years. Practically dead. Nothing was happening here. Nothing was happening. Everything was destroyed. The economy was messed up. People were starving, homelessness, you name it, and it was happening. And in 3 months, from this new Simmons government, this woman who we have now, in 3 months, it's hard to tell that people suffered that much just 6 months before that. To now, everybody is hyped, is in the spirit of celebration, motivated, excited, laughing, alive. It matters who your government is. So I want to congratulate the people of Suriname for saving themselves. For saving themselves. Because whatever happens to this country directly affects the economy in Guyana. Directly affects the Guyanese economy. It affects not just the economy, the society, the morals, because a large percentage of the Suriname population, a large percent, more than 30%, are Guyanese. Guyanese origin, Guyanese ancestry, almost 50%. There is a profound interconnection with the two countries. So whatever happens in one country affects the other one. So you see, in this new administration now in Suriname, you have thousands of Guyanese that are coming across, back and forth. Everywhere you turn, you see Guyanese vehicles on the roads here. And I'm not just talking Indo-Guyanese, Black, Amerindian, Chinese, you name them, they're here every day. It was not like that the previous 5 years. Nobody wants to come. Nobody wants to invest. And in 3 months, you would be surprised that this is Suriname compared to 6 months ago. So it matters who your leaders are. It matters. And I'm glad that the issue of race was not played out in the previous election. I'm happy it wasn't. Because if it were, I wouldn't be saying this. So on behalf of Uncensored Guyana, I am wishing 50 years stronger, more resilient, and prosperity for the nation of Suriname. They have a good president, a wonderful lady, and she has demonstrated so far that she has what it takes. She's a doctor by profession, a medical doctor by profession. She's demonstrated that she has the capacity to deliver to a general nation, not one racial group, everybody. What's worrying to me? What is worrying to me is that all of this, the projected progress, stability, economic growth, security is at risk. Is at risk. And if we don't understand the consequences of war, look around the globe to the countries that are neighboring to the countries of conflict, the countries in the Middle East, in Europe, that are within the borders of the countries that are at war with each other right now. Look at how those neighboring countries are suffering. They're not in war, but they're suffering. So to the citizens of Guyana and Suriname, now is not the time to play partisan politics. Now is not the time to sit back and say you're black or you're Kuli or you're black or you're Indian. Now is not the time for that nonsense. Now is the time to support their government that is in power. In power. Fuck the opposition. Both sides. In Guyana and in Suriname, fuck the opposition. This in time for race politics. This in time for fucking race politics. If your party lost, it lost. Enough with the drama. I backed Santoki during the campaign. I backed his party in the campaign. They lost. I accepted it. I moved on. My position is to support two governments, President Ali and President Jennifer Simmons, the PPP government and the NDP government. That's my mandate. Enough with the bullshit race politics. You're fucking up your country. When elections come again, you can vote race. But in the meantime, your country depends on unity to stand against the threats that is coming, the chaos that is coming. Every citizen shall be affected. Every citizen. This isn't time to say it's Jennifer's war or it's Ali's war. Guyanese and Surinamese will be directly affected when the bombs start to fall next week or sometime this week. Directly affected. And if you don't stand behind your governments, your countries are going to fall. Guyana will be affected economically. Suriname will be affected economically if the divisions within the country gets wider due to racism. Due to racism. And I ain't gonna back any of it. Let me say this now. I am not going to back any racial plot against the Suriname government or against the Guyana government. I ain't gonna back them. Because I have offsprings, children in Guyana and Suriname. My generation exists in both countries. So I need the best for both countries. And I'm not going to stand by and support any conspiracy, any racial conspiracy to destroy the Suriname government or the Guyanese government under President Ali or under President Jennifer Simmons. I'm not going to have it. So anybody, let me tell you now, don't send stupid stuff to me. I'm going to expose your name. I'll expose who you are. I don't give a fuck where you're from. I am not going to conspire or collude with anyone to push any conspiracy to affect this government or the Guyanese government. Elections is coming in 2020, 2030. You can vote your racism then. But for now, you're a citizen Your obligation is under the Constitution to stand in solidarity with your government. Whatever your private sentiments are, keep it in your house. But when you step out of your house, be a patriot and stand up with your government in the times that are coming. Because they're dangerous times. War ain't nothing to play with. War ain't nothing to play with. Let me pause for a second there. Mansour Nadir, Speaker of the House of Guyana, Speaker of the House of Parliament in Guyana, Mansour Nadir. You have a constitutional obligation. You have a constitutional responsibility to protect that house. The country, by a massive margin, voted for your leader, who is our president, Irfan Ali. The PPP's administration bestowed upon you, Mansour Nadir, the responsibility to be the Speaker of the House, the President of the Parliament. It's your call. No court can order you to do shit. Your constitutional responsibility is to protect the integrity of the Guyanese people. I also asked a while ago for the Ministry of Home Affairs to outlaw public gatherings, protesting, outlaw it. The Mohammeds are in a hurry because they know their days are up. The probationary period where they can enjoy what's left of their freedom is up. It's exhausted. Now they're in the society of Guyana on stolen time, not borrowed time, stolen time. And this stolen time that they have, they are going to use it to bring chaos in the country because the war started. Maduro is done. They just got to go pick him up. It is the inevitable. The Mohammeds are in a hurry because somebody told them that the only thing that can save him is if he is declared officially, legally, and constitutionally the opposition leader of Guyana. Somebody told him that. So he's pushing it. They're forcing it. They're pushing it because they want to have the parliament to give them that time of day. Remember, the case is scheduled for tomorrow. I mean, Friday. Is it 26th, right? What is it? Wednesday. The case is scheduled for Wednesday. Chances are, by Monday, Friday, sorry. Chances are that by Friday, the Mohammeds could very well be on their way to federal prison. Chances are. Because on Wednesday, the 26th, something got to be done. This can't be another procrastination. This woman can't say, I need another date for more reporting. She got all the evidence. Everything that's needed, it was presented. Her report is due on Wednesday. What's the next step after that? What? Now you have a trial? After Wednesday, what? Then is when she will decide if this case has the merits to go to trial, to have a adjudication on the matter. That's the move after Wednesday. What's the move? The whole purpose of going to the court is to say, hey, we're coming to get the legal passage to get this document stamped by a judge. You know, like when you issue a warrant. Good. A judge has to stamp the document and say, okay, this is unofficial now, you can extradite. That's the whole point of the court case. It's not a trial to say you gotta reschedule now, we're gonna have the first hearing on this case. No, that's not my impression of it. It's to say, hey, stamp the bloody document. Let the people go. The judge wants you to convince her that these people deserve to be extradited. Good. You have all the evidence, judge, magistrate. Here are the evidence. Aren't you convinced? So she saw the evidence. She got the evidence. Now she has to report on the evidence. What will be the report? She found discrepancies, something fishy. She don't believe it. It's not for her to decide whether she believes it or not. Is it authentic? Yes. Then what's the next move? The next move is your stamp. So the Mohammeds understood all of that. They're pushing this thing now to avoid, because the court cannot rule in their favor. The only recourse they have is to have him sworn in as opposition leader. And they can use the Constitution to prevent him, to block any extradition. That's it. So them coming out and protesting and him talking about he won elections and all this shit that they're bringing up again, it is to sow chaos in the country amidst the pending doom in Venezuela that will spread across the borders. And when they start with this chaos, let me paint a picture to you, my fellow Guyanese. Let me paint a picture. When the war starts, covert operation already started. As a matter of fact, listen, today, Monday, Venezuela and the Maduro regime was officially declared in narco state today by the State Department, in narco state, terrorist narco state, officially declared today, Monday. What does that mean? It means the President of America has all the powers now. He doesn't need the Congress. He don't need anyone. Now he has all the powers to bomb the hell out of Venezuela. Now. That's what they were waiting for that official declaration. And when your country is declared official narco state, the American Constitution gives the powers to the president to wipe you off the map if he desires. Because you are a threat now to the security of America. And he will go after you wherever you are. That's the powers he was waiting for. He got it. This is something now that is discussed. This is something that is official. It's official that a war has begun. It is official that the boots are on the ground in Venezuela. It's official that a covert operation by the CIA and the FBI has begun in Venezuela. It's official. This isn't something they're discussing. This is a done deal. It's a done deal. What you will see now is these B-2 bombers, these warships and these planes bombing the hell out of Caracas. That's what you will see now. And that opens up the door for refugees, terrorists, gang members to invade Suriname, invade Guyana, to unleash the Maduro scorn, to avenge especially Guyana, to avenge Maduro because they cannot do it directly to America. And what do we have in Guyana? A so-called leader of a party, a criminal enterprise, that is now building a scenario to capitalize on the chaos that is coming out of Venezuela. So when the war starts and all of these unidentified aliens from Venezuela find their way in Guyana, they will know where their orders come from. And then you have, on the other hand, this so-called opposition leader spreading protest around the country to pressure what he claims the government don't want to swear him in. You have these Venezuelan immigrants, these terrorists, these gang members, these prostitutes and thieves and criminals, all from the ghetto in Venezuela, joining together with the scums and scraps and scrapes and vagabonds and the wind ghetto people in Guyana to protest for a man whose fate is already sealed, who is going to prison. But in the process of all of that, people will lose their lives. Guyanese will lose their lives. Businesses will be affected. Homes will be affected. These Venezuelans are thousands in their numbers. They're going to run over Guyanese homes. They're going to possess Guyanese homes. They're going to go into the villages where they have no police presence, and they're going to terrorize those people. Because the government will have its hands full dealing with the effects of the war in Venezuela. People like Ashidin Mohammed is going to capitalize on what happens in the ground in Guyana to fulfill his agenda, which is a personal vendetta against the president and the vice president of Guyana. So you Guyanese who are extending sympathy, I want you to grab this. Ashidin Mohammed himself said he's a billionaire. You have seen the pictures and the videos. You see how he lives. You see the cars he drives that you will never sit in. You may get a picture with a Lamborghini, but you will never, never sit inside of it. You see the houses the man lives in and his family. You see the boats he sailed on. You see all of that you will never get within 10 miles of that. And you already know that that man has achieved all of that under fraudulent criminal means, breaking the law. He deserves what's coming to him. You're going to go put your neck on the line, your life on the line for a man who has lived all his life as a prince, and you can only watch him in movies, on videos, swearing Muhammad. Black people are the worst kinds of people on this fucking planet. I swear to you. It is too bad that the majority of them fucking niggas weren't living along the Venezuelan border coast there. It's too bad they weren't living there. So they get the first force of the war. They occupy the city and infest the city with their stupidity. Grown ass black men and women going and fighting for a billionaire Indo-Guyanese, who don't give a fuck about these nasty fucking niggas. You gotta risk your country's security because this asshole don't want to be extradited? Who the fuck is Muhammad? Let him go deal with his crimes. It is your taxes he robbed. Your taxes. The same shit with the Universal Church the other day. When these Brazilian hustlers, these pimps, hustlers, wanted to gang bang a black Guyanese man, these fucking low-life nigger women want to join with these foreigners to consume their own. Self-hate is a real thing in the ghetto, man. A real thing. Now look, they want to go and face the gun, the bullet for Muhammad, fucking Muhammad. You people like to say that Guyana is not a real place. Black people aren't real people. Black people are not real people. You have a war that is brewing that will devastate Guyana. The country is going places. It was a long time coming, but Guyana is going places. Now you have a war that can put a dent into that. Slow it down, worse than COVID. And the best you can do is to stand behind this fucking asshole who is in a hurry to be sworn in. You think that he's so starved, he's such a fucking hungry belly, that he needs the salary of the opposition leader to buy food. So the longer they take to initiate this thing, is the hungrier he gets. You will think that this is something that he can't live without. That the country depends on him being recognized. It's not important. Mr. Manzoor Nadir, I'm saying to you, sir, don't swear the man in. Don't convene any parliament for that shit. It's nonsense. It is nonsense. So far, the country is developing, right? So far, all the business of the country is being conducted. Everything. What is on standstill? What is affected? He hasn't gotten his due, but what is affected? The country is moving. So why do we need to swear this guy in? Let him deal with his legal troubles. Deal with it. Finish with it. There are no issues. Then we can take care of that. But in the meantime, the Guyana police force need to understand Guyana has come too far. We had a peaceful elections, the best in the history of Guyana. We have a government that is making sure that service gets out to the people. We have a president that's making sure that he does every day what needs to be done in monitoring the ministers, monitoring his government officials, so that they deliver on the job they were tasked with. All of that is happening. Mr. Mansour Nadir, we can't afford distractions to make the curse official. Guyanese didn't vote for Azruddin Mohammed. The people who voted for the Win party, they are not Guyanese. They're Venezuelans. So their vote don't count. You don't have to recognize their votes. GCOM should have been sued for that nonsense in letting that man take part in the elections. It was a great injustice to the Guyanese people and the future of Guyana. In light of what's happening, right now on the borders of Guyana, the fact that this war is going to devastate Guyana, you have to protect the Constitution and postpone any more swearing in. Any more swearing in. It has to be suspended, blocked. Mr. Mansour Nadir. The Home Affairs Minister of Guyana, Ms. Waldron. Did the Win people got a permit for their protest today? Did they get a permit? Because that's a protest. Walking to the parliament, did they get a permit? Since when he thinks he can break the law, he's above the law. Well, because he got away with the court cases? Because it seemed like the GRA was afraid of him and they dropped the charges? Well, they didn't. They didn't do it. You have to block all of these distractions. It is bad for the country. No, you have, it's almost a Christmas season. People are ambitious, enthusiastic. They're looking forward to enjoying the Christmas festives. Guyana is big on Christmas. And you have this spoiled, nasty billionaire who don't want to go face his crimes, are building up a platform for chaos in the country. And then he's going to use the refugees from Venezuela to join his gangs. You know you cannot trust the Mohammeds. Block any protest and arrest him because he's the one calling for it. Arrest him. Why should people go protest for him? Because the parliament has their legitimate reasons why they must seek proper consultation into having a time for swearing in. Why is that so important? That you need protests for that? That people must come out and risk their lives so that he can feel good about himself. As your shadow Home Affairs Minister, I am giving the Guyana Police the empowerment to shut down any protest on Friday and arrest Azruddin Mohammed. He's calling people to come out and protest on Friday, right? Arrest him. And this time, make sure there's no bail. And all the persons who join the protest, arrest them also. That stupid stunt doesn't warrant that. It doesn't warrant that. So President Ali, please instruct the real Home Affairs Minister to do her job. Keep the streets clean. You see how people are trying. They're trying to clean the place. They're trying to uplift the environment. They're cleaning the stuff from the nasty vendors who occupy the city and made it look like a fucking ghetto from Haiti. Empower those people. You don't want distractions with protests because of this lunatic who claims to be this gangster, but he can't go face his crime. And speaking of lunatic, David Hines, we know you work for the Bahamas. David Hines. Now, that $1 million that you want to give to Tiger Bay residents, have you ever seen $1 million in your life, David Hines? Do you know what it looks like? You're pressuring the government to give the ghetto Tiger Bay, that ghetto that nobody told them to go live there. They're squatting on private land. They're like rats infesting the place. All the marijuana and the cocaine and the junkies and the immoral sex and the prostitution, all of that, that is a cursed place. They have to bleach that whole place out. They gotta burn it out, bleach it out, to clean the stench of sin and disease from that area, Tiger Bay. You want the government to take my fucking taxpayers' money, because the oil, the wealth belongs to all Guyanese. You want the government to take the country's money. Cash grant is not enough. And you want the government to give those niggas $1 million per household? That's what you want? I'm not interested whether the government made that promise or not. The government had to have been stupid to make such a promise. Really stupid. To promise the ghetto Tiger Bay $1 million per household. They got to be really dumb to do that. Whether they do it or not is not my concern. My concern is you go into Muhammad's pocket and you and Muhammad come up with the money that he's supposed to pay the taxpayers, and let him give them $1 million each. The Muhammads own a lot of property. I mean, they have a lot of apartment buildings. Why don't they give them apartments to live in for free? Instead of $1 million, he could give them each apartments. How many of them are there? Are all those land that they got under the PNC, all those government lands the Mohammeds got under the PNC, they could go build some cheap houses there and give to those ghetto people. They could do that. Why should the government take my taxpayers' dollar and give to these fucking lowlifes who nobody sent there $1 million so they can smoke it out, buy more iPhone, party, buy illegal guns with it? Then after that, what they break down the fencing, the blockade from the Tiger Bay, and go back and they build shacks again. This is the mentality of these nigger leaders. Free stuff. This is the mentality. Because for 5 years, 2015, 2020, nothing the PNC did for their own people, nothing. They took all the grants that the Ramatar government had allocated. They took everything. They took all the money. The black people did it to their own black people. Why didn't you call out the PNC for that, Hines? But your mentality, you and them fucking niggas in that party, your mentality is always free stuff. You want free money, you want free food, you even want free pussy. And the women ain't giving in. The women ain't giving in. Where everything is money. Oh, give them money, give them money, give them money. And look who has to go clean up Tiger Bay. Look who has to go clean up the city that them niggas mess up. They're not doing it themselves. Other people gotta go and clean up their mess. Typical black people. Typical black people. They mess things up and somebody has got to go clean it up. And then what they do? They cuss you out. I say no. You can't do that, Ali. Taking $1 million to give. You got so many people are suffering. The agriculture sector is suffering. The rice farmers are suffering. The sugarcane workers are suffering. All these people around the country are suffering. Give working families who are making a difference, who started their homes but somehow they can't finish it. Give them the money to finish their houses. Enough with the cash grants. Invest the money where it belongs. Into people who are making a difference. People who pay taxes, they should be the one to benefit from the wealth. Businesses that are paying taxes, they should have the bailout. You should help them. They have a lot of businesses that still owes money to iPad. Is it iPad? The place that the small business bank that lends money to small businesses. Is it iPad? I think it is. And a lot of these commercial banks where Guyanese mortgage their homes to secure loans to start a business. But for some reason, their business failed, especially during the COVID time. Their business failed, their homes were compromised. Go and bail them out. Use the cash grant money, use the oil money to save all those Guyanese who might lose their properties because they can't pay the fucking loans. Help them out with the money. Let them niggas from Tiger Bay go get a job. If they can't find a job, the Guyana Sugar Corporation needs people to cut the cane. Let them go find a job there. They don't have skills to get a prominent job. They need construction workers. The mayor and city council need workers. You have all of these sectors that needs workers, but instead of David Hines and these PNC leaders send these niggas to work, they're telling them, no, stay home. The government should take care of you. I see what's happening when that happens. What's happening? The Cubans come and the Venezuelans come and they dominate the workforce. They can't speak English. They're delivering false services, delivering poor services because they can't communicate to the Guyanese. And what's the excuse? They can't find Guyanese workers, so they have to take these foreigners that can't speak English and that hate black people. Why don't you encourage them to go get the jobs? But no, stay home. You need the cash grant, and the fucking Mohammed people are joining the crew, riling the people up. Yes, come out and protest for your cash grant. Come out and protest for your $1 million. When the whole protest agenda is to help him from being extradited. But all these other distractions is to lure the people to come out and protest under the guise you're fighting for freedom. How can you wrap this shit around your head, folks? Let's try to imagine this for a change. Let's try to imagine this for a moment. How can you wrap this around your head? How the fuck are you fighting for freedom by protesting for Muhammad swearing in? Tell me, how do you justify that? What freedom? What freedom? The man is a criminal. He lived as a prince. Bribe a lot of you hungry bellies. And now you're pushing on social media. You're fighting for freedom for one man. And you're making it look as though the Guyana government is against this Indo-Guyanese man who's just like them. You need that crowd control software. You need the crowd control software. And you scan all these faces that plans to gather for the Muhammad and his stupid gatherings. You scan their faces and you put them in a database, and then you itemize them. You get all their information, and you forward it to the relevant ministries, banks, institutions, so they can keep them in their database. So when these people show up anywhere, you deny them service. Anywhere. They must understand that the price of democracy, that democracy comes at a price. Just like freedom of expression comes at a price. You can't do with it as you wish. Stand with your government, Guyanese. Stand with your government. The war is going to devastate the Caribbean. It is going to devastate the Caribbean. If you don't know what it's like, this will be your chance to experience what it's like to live in a war zone. I would recommend from now that you don't make any plans. There's a no-fly zone over Venezuela. Planes are not going there. Flights are more expensive now from certain places because the planes cannot route over Venezuela. They have to make a long another route to get to their destination, which the tickets would be more expensive because they can't fly over Venezuela. Means you have to pay more. You will be directly impacted. Your families, your businesses, your livelihood. So I suggest and I recommend for Suriname, Guyana, Trinidad, the Caribbean, hold your plans. Don't spend. Don't spend any money right now. I know Christmas is coming, but you have another month for Christmas. At least for the next 3 weeks, cut back on spending. Wait and see what happens. Because January, when this war starts, January, which is usually a tough month, is going to be a hellish month for the Caribbean. So you better spare your money right now. Don't spend anything. Don't plan any vacation. Not for the next 3 months. Because Maduro is not going to just leave. And if he doesn't leave by Wednesday, the day after tomorrow, the bombs will start to fall. I am with the countries I stand with. And yes, I support the Americans' initiative when it comes to Venezuela. The Venezuelan deserves better. That was once a country that fed the whole Caribbean, Latin America, the richest country in Latin America. I would like to see that come back. We all benefit when one country prospers. Everybody benefits. But when the countries are devastated by poverty and bad government, people migrate. It creates a refugee crisis. And as a result of the refugee crisis, Guyana was bombed. Guyana had terrorism 3 times. If Venezuela had a better government, a better system, then the Venezuelans would have been happy in their country. Happy. Get the fuck rid of Maduro. He wanted to steal Guyana. He wanted to corrupt Guyana. He wanted to destroy Guyana. Get rid of Maduro, get rid of the Mohammeds, so that Guyana can be at peace. At peace. I am standing with the Americans in this war. I just want the Guyanese citizens and the Suriname citizens to stand with your governments, the governments that are in power. Don't listen to your opposition. They're jealous because they're not the ones there. Stand with your governments. I beg you. So again, I will thank you for your time. I wanted to touch on something, but I'll do that on the next slide. Please be careful with these Nigerians, scammers on Facebook, on TikTok. Please be careful with the Nigerians, scammers on the internet. Please, there are too many people crying tears, too many people committing suicide because they have been had by Nigerian scammers. Nigeria has over 300 million people. It's hard to find those scammers in Nigeria. So I'm advising you, those who spend a lot of time online, especially the lonely women, the bored, lonely women, don't get involved with online romance. And if you're going to buy something, don't buy things on Facebook. Too many people are being scammed from Nigerians. There's a Guyanese man who was scammed almost $1,000 because some Nigerian man pretends to sell him some engine. If they have a name that sounds like a black person, dismiss them. Nigerian scammers are evil. They're evil. A lot of them come in the name of pastors and bishops and all these kinds of stuff, but they're all scammers. When you see them, report their profiles to Facebook, report their profiles to the police. Do what you can, but do not engage anyone from Nigeria. They wouldn't tell you they're from Nigeria. But as long as they start talking about they love you and they're in some prison somewhere, or there's some military person somewhere, or they're going to send you something, please dismiss them. Usually they have some profile with some nice looking woman or some buff of a guy somewhere, some profile and pictures, but you can never talk to them. You can never video call them. Dismiss them. The President of the United States also is planning to go into Nigeria and bomb the terrorists there because they are killing the Christians. A few days ago, they kidnapped over 500 girls from a school. Over 500 girls the Nigerian criminals kidnapped. I would love for the American president to go into Nigeria and bomb them. I would love for that. That's on the agenda. But in the meantime, Guyanese, Caribbean nationals, Surinamese, please do not engage Nigerians. South African, they are criminals, they are thieves, they perform a lot of witchcraft, they perform a lot of black magic, a lot of voodoo. Avoid these fucking Negroes. Leave them to the American military who will bomb the hell out of them in the near future. For now, avoid them. And by the way, don't trust black people. I mean it. Until next time. Bye now.